welcome back. So in today's video I am going to do an ID video about this Cattlychea Siam Jade. So Cattlychea Siam Jade has quite interesting genetics. This orchid, it is a cross between Cattleya penny Kuroda and Cattlychea Vienna woods. Cattlychea, it is a cross between Cattleya and Prosticum. Cattleya penny Kuroda, it is a cross between Cattleya summer snow and Cattleya guttata, and Cattlychea Vienna woods, it is a cross between Cattleya guttata and Prosticum mariae. Now, Cattleya guttata and Prosticum mariae are both species, and I have found out by searching on internet that when Cattlychea Siam Jade has green sepals and petals, the Cattleya guttata used in both hybrids, it is the Alba variety. There is another form of Cattlychea Siam Jade, as you can see right now on the screen, and to be quite honest, I prefer mine. I prefer to have a perfect solid color on the sepals. I like it to be green. I don't like that whitish. When I have purchased mine, they didn't put any picture on the website. So I am incredibly happy that I got the exact variety that I wished for. The blooms of this orchid are quite large. They are about 8 to 10 centimeters in diameter, and they have this perfect solid phosphorescent green color that I absolutely love on orchids. I know some of you don't like green orchids, but I am absolutely in love with them. This orchid has waxy petals and sepals, and the sepals are quite narrow, as you can see, while the petals are a bit frilly. And they have this beautiful shape that I find very attractive on Cattleya orchids. As you can see, the sepals are not completely pulled back, but in this particular orchid this looks quite nice. The lip, it is very beautiful, it is long and frilly, and as you can see, down there in the center I have a little bit of greenish color that kind of fades towards the tip of the lip. I do find this orchid incredibly pretty. As you can see, I have two beautiful blooms here. Now, my orchid was purchased about 9 months ago, time in which I had divided her, and I gave 3 pseudobulbs to another orchid friend, so the orchid didn't reach its full capacity. Studying a little bit the genetics of this orchid, I have found out that the orchid, it is capable to produce up to 10 blooms from each spike, so this orchid can make quite a nice show. I was really surprised to see this orchid blooming for me, as it had matured this pseudobulb during the end of the summer, and as you can see, it didn't produce any sheet. So I simply left the orchid on a shelf where I had quite warm temperatures, and when I watered it about 1 month and a half ago, I have seen a little spike emerging from the top, and I was incredibly surprised because to my knowledge, Cattleya orchids either produce sheets, either produce the blooms directly from the cane before the pseudobulb fully matures. Now, this orchid has quite interesting genetics, and it is known to produce the spike directly from the already matured cane. This orchid produces new roots and spikes after the pseudobulb fully grows. So this is quite an interesting Cattleya orchid. This orchid, it is not very tall, so I would include her into the medium-sized Cattleyas. As you can see, it can produce up to 3 leaves, and it is not very tall. The pseudobulb are maximum 20 centimeters in height. I'm not very sure if it can grow taller than this. The leaves are a medium green color towards dark. They will remain like that because my orchid stayed in incredibly bright light throughout this, because that was the only spot where I could keep her, where I had an empty place. Now, I don't think this orchid needs that much light as I had gave to her, but the orchid thrived in those conditions, and it can take quite a lot of sunlight, so that makes it quite a nice Cattleya for me, because I usually keep my orchids in the summertime outdoors in my garden, and sometimes they do receive a little bit of direct sun. What I like most about this orchid, it is the magnificent fragrance. This orchid has a very powerful scent, and for me it resembles jasmine and lilies, but it is a much more complex scent, and it is quite hard to describe it for me, but I absolutely guarantee you will love this powerful fragrance. When it is a sunny day, it fills my entire room with this beautiful fragrance. It is a very complex fragrance. It is very enjoyable. It has a very powerful floral scent that can easily fill an entire room with its fragrance. It is quite sweet and very enjoyable. I really recommend to you this orchid, especially because it can create a big cluster of up to 10 blooms. As you can see, the spike, it is not tall at all. This Cattleya, it is a space saver that can easily be grown on a windowsill. It is not hard to find Cattleya, and I have seen it on quite a lot of online shops, so you can go and check it there. I guarantee you will love this fragrance. It is absolutely impossible you don't like it. Alright guys, this is all for today. Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Bye!